Districts and current educators is key to developing programs that are relevant and impactful for educators. Dr. Johnson teaches multiple continuing education courses, and she would love to connect with you and hear how she can support you and your school and students. So please help me in welcoming our presenter for this morning, Dr. Kasey Johnson.
This is the closest I've ever felt to a TED Talk. You know, they walk out and they're like really cool people. I'm not cool, but you are, so we got the cool factor up there. How we doing? I'm real sorry about the coffee, but you did a great, where'd she go? You did a great job getting people going, so well done. All right, I'm gonna get you out of here on time, so everybody breathe, okay? I'm not one of those that likes to hear themselves speak, but I do wanna make sure that you are just understanding how incredible you are and how much I respect you, and I'm excited to be with you today. So we talked about the theme for this time together, and we said time to heal. But really, in order to heal, you got to kind of figure out where you've been hurt, right? And so in a session that we have after this, we're going to unpack some of these things. I just want to do a disclaimer. We're not going to be focusing on the hurt part because I'm not a psychologist. We're going to be focusing on the healing and the three pieces we're going to talk about today. Hurt can come in lots of different forms, right? Emotional, physical, spiritual, financial, mental, professional. Hurt is a lot more than maybe some of the main things that we think about. So I want to ask you to kind of expand your mind today and think through what possibilities could be there. How many people are under 40? Raise your hand. Under 40. Aren't you cute? Put your hand up. How many of you are over 40? Well, what? Yes, baby. I got a sister right there who's excited. All right, listen. I used to look at my grandma and she would scrape her arm on the thing, and then I'd see her 4 weeks later and that scrape was still there. Do you remember that? And I thought, dear Lord, is she made of paper? And then the other 3 weeks ago, I hit my ankle on something and it is still green. Can you see it? Yeah. Healing is really different when you're older, and especially when you're thinking physically. But I think as we're in this profession longer, healing is different as well. Can I get an amen? So the hurts that we feel as we continue to move through this profession can come at us in a new way, and we can think, gosh, why am I holding on to this for so long? Why is this here? Well, welcome to the journey of life. Everything changes. Now, every month I get this box that comes to my house. It has 4 different medications in it. I pull it out. I'm gonna do this right here. I tear it off. There are 2 little packets here. I have to take one and then wait an hour and then take the other one. This is annoying as hell. But you know what? It keeps me going. And I have 3 children who I want to be my best for. So I do this. I have a husband too, but he's completely self-sustaining. So when it comes to me, this is what I need. I don't know what's in your box, but we're gonna figure it out today, okay? Everybody has a box. Everybody has something that they need every day to make sure that they are performing not only at their peak ability, but can sustain what they are doing. You see, I had a little wake-up moment. How many people have had a moment where you had a health scare or something in your family did? Raise your hand where it really just shook you. Yes, we should all probably be there. Maybe you're too young to have experienced it yet, but unfortunately it's probably coming. It was 2010. We had a new boss. I was getting ready that morning, and I thought, gosh, when did I become so good at keeping my one eyelid open while I put my mascara on? Usually, I'm kind of one of those makeup idiots. I watch the YouTube video, and then I come out looking like a clown. It does not work out for me. And I thought, this is wonderful, my makeup's going so well. And then I sat there at breakfast and we're listening to him talk and everything else. And I started drinking my orange juice, and all of a sudden the orange juice started to run out this corner of my mouth. And I thought, what the? And I went to the bathroom because I got it on my shirt a little bit. And I looked in the mirror, and all of a sudden I realized that this eye was way down here, and this was here. And I thought, am I having a stroke? So I ran back into the room, I grabbed my friend, and I said, something is happening. And I couldn't even really articulate what was going on. Another woman who was older and much wiser, thank goodness for older people, she ran up to me and she said, "Sweetheart, are you okay?" She went down the list of the things for a stroke, and I only had one of them, which was this drooping piece. And she said, "I think you have Bell's palsy." And I said, "A what?" I am young, I am vibrant, I am in control of my life. When I say I want to do something, I do it. And Bell's palsy was not in the do it column. I have a plan. I am a type A. We control everything. Just ask my husband. He told me one day, he said, "I love you, but it is exhausting being married to you." And I was like, "It's okay. You'll make it. I have faith." He's like, "Yeah, exactly." So I go to the doctor. They do these little tests. All of a sudden, I can't do that. It still kind of goes through. And sure enough, I had Bell's palsy. What's my first phone call? Mama. She lives in San Diego. "Mom, my face is falling off." And I couldn't eat. Food was falling out. My eye wouldn't close all the way. She flew in, did her little Google searches, and thanks to her, I did not lose the sight in my left eye. What I didn't know is that your eye doesn't close all the way with Bell's palsy while you're sleeping, and you can potentially damage your vision for the rest of your life. Well, I was talking to my brother, and as younger brothers do, he kind of held a mirror up to my face, and he said, "Well, Kasey, this is just God's way of giving you an off switch." I thought, I don't want an off switch. I go, 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 go. I am on. That's my job. And you know, to this day, when I get tired or stressed, and you can even see it in pictures of me, my face does not align. I don't smile the same way that I used to. But I can actually feel my facial nerves start to fire. And I go, whoop, I need to step back. I need to heal for just a minute. And I actually have to go to sleep for a while in order to make sure everything comes back. One day, the doctors told me my face may droop and never return. I may be that way the rest of my life. And I'm okay with that because, you know, there are bigger things. I can walk and move and go. But for me, the healing process of having to absolutely remove myself from everything in my life and sleep so that my face would come back and my facial nerve would stop swelling and everything would come back together, it was almost more painful than the Bell's palsy. To be completely useless, or at least to feel that way. We are a group of educators, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, but we are a special breed. I don't know anybody else who would sign up to do what we do day in and day out. But sometimes we need to stop and think about some elements in our life that we might need to give a little attention to and let it heal. So we're going to talk about 3 of them. You ready? Here we go. The first one, time. I need to ask you a favor. Can we please stop saying time management? There is no such thing as time management. Time cannot be managed. It is fixed. But you can. What if we started talking about self-management, team management? We all have the same hour and minute of the day, and we have to make sure that we're using that well. I got any business teachers in here? Do anybody know Drucker's 3 questions? What are Drucker's 3? Nobody? Okay, here we go. Drucker's 3 questions are this. Are we doing the right thing? Are we doing it the right way? And how do we know? Do you notice he didn't ask, what are we doing? He already knows we're doing something. We're always doing something. But how are we using our time? Are we doing the right thing? Are we doing it the right way? And how do we know? A lot of that can be seen in the time that we give to people and activities in our life. You know what time is also great for? Healing. I've been hurt by people who were in my profession and were supposed to protect me and help me and support me, and they hurt me. And I remember after that hurt, the next few mornings I would wake up, that hurt was on my mind. Lunch, it was there. Go to bed, it's there. Then after about a week or so, I would wake up and the hurt wasn't there. And it had passed a little bit. Time is a beautiful healing agent. But you know what we have to do? We gotta sit in it. We gotta stop running around like crazy and avoiding the healing. Sometimes we have to let time do its magic. Do I have any empaths in the room? Raise your hand. Yeah, I know you. Boy, you exhaust me in a way I cannot explain because you care about people in a way I can't. You are amazing, but you carry so much with you. I have a beautiful friend here today who reminded me of something I told her years ago, but I actually needed to hear it today. She said, Kasey, we were standing in the lounge, and you said, maybe you need to unplug from that person and stop giving them your energy and letting them take it from you. And I love that she reminded me of that, because that's really the piece of boundaries. I put a fence up here because here's what I love about fences. It's a clear line between where I stop and you start. But you know what else a fence can have? A gate. I can open that gate and I can let you in, and then I can come back from that gate. You see, a fence isn't permanent. It's not a brick wall that we can't see through. Anybody remember that Tool Time show, Tim the Tool Man? Whatever. Yeah, the neighbor, all you could see, you never saw his face, but they still had this weird relationship together. There are some people and activities in our lives where maybe we need some boundaries with them. Here's what I tell my student teachers. I say there's going to be times in your educational and professional and personal career where you need to prune and you need to preserve. Anybody who's ever had shrubbery of any sort or anything else, there's a time when you need to prune it and cut some things out so that you can preserve what's inside. If you have relationships or activities or responsibilities in your life that need to be pruned, have the guts to do it. I don't know anyone who is courageous that hasn't been hurt. Brene Brown says that vulnerability and courage comes from those who have been hurt the most. It's a beautiful thing to use our stories to help ourselves move forward and to help others. Boundaries bring us safety. We have to make sure that we feel safe and that we can move forward. Last thing I'll say about this one that I also tell my student teachers is, you can listen without leaning in. There's a difference. I can listen to the drama and the things that are going on, but I don't have to lean in and be a part of it. Oh yeah, stir the fire and get everything going. No, I'm just gonna listen. See, I have a boundary. And you know what? I got about 2 more minutes to hear about your issues. It sounds terrible, doesn't it? But at the same time, maybe it's part of what we need to heal. Last one I want to talk about is caring. You are in a caring profession. Kierkegaard calls it hemorrhaging of the caring self. We chose a profession that says, I care about you. You grow and get better. I am successful. Wait a minute. You just gave all the power for determining who you are and you're successful to this individual over here. It's time that we take that back and say, I'm going to care for you, but I'm also going to have a boundary, and I'm going to understand that our time together is limited. Within the caring profession, they have a saying that it's like, you're like a battery that gets charged and drained, and charged and drained, and charged. Do you feel it? Every year when you get that new class, you're charged, you're ready to go, and then by April, now, you're going, oh Lord, I don't think I can make it in. You're sitting in the parking lot grabbing the steering wheel going, Jesus, take the wheel, help me to move forward. Yes, but at the same time, it's that caring that called us to this profession and makes us such beautiful gifts to our society and our community and our students. It's what makes you effective. So here's my question. Who takes care of you? Who's your tribe? What activities do you do that fill you back up so that you can be poured out to those who need you? Well, here's my final challenge to you today. I think there's a time in our life where we need to give ourselves permission, and there's a time in our life when we actually need a prescription. So let's think about our 3 areas: time, boundaries, and caring. Of those 3, which ones do you feel like would help you to move forward with your healing? And which ones need to be seen as, you know what? Here's the conversation I had with myself. Because last night we had to go to a banquet thing with my husband, and I was looking at my closet going, well, doesn't fit, COVID, doesn't fit, like, right? COVID was not good to me. And I actually had to say to myself, you know what, I'm gonna give myself permission to accept my body the way that it is. I'm gonna heal from the idea that society has told me I'm supposed to be like this fit. Yeah, I would love to be more fit, and I'm still gonna work on it, okay? Don't give up on me. But I'm going to give myself permission to accept my body the way it is and be appreciative that it gets me from point A to point B. And I'm gonna give myself permission to not have the classroom that I just saw on Instagram. And I'm gonna give myself permission to walk away from that drama that I heard on the news or something else that's going on and go take a walk and focus on the people in my life that I can have an impact on and I can make a difference with. Maybe I'm gonna actually write a prescription for myself. I will not let that person make me feel fill in the blank. A prescription, something you will abide by just like you would if the doctor said you better take these pills every single day. So my husband is a creative guy, and every year he gives us a word for the year. He also gives us a little trinket. In 2019, boy, he didn't know he was doing this. He gave us the word flow, and it was about like kind of go with the flow and how water goes through rocks and forms it and things. And he gave us this little bracelet. I don't know if you can see it, but it has a little water thing there, and he ordered it for all of us. This year, the word was believe. And he actually found a woman who makes bracelets, and this is the word believe in Morse code. He then made a long wooden thing that's just beautiful, and he cut the Morse code into the wood, and it hangs at the front of our house. And his kind of speech and challenge to us was, you know what, guys? Sometimes we just have to believe that it's gonna work out. Sometimes we just have to take that next step in faith and say, I believe I do have what it takes, and I am called to be here, and I am what these kids need. No matter what that person said, or no matter what that pressure was, or no matter what that hurt was from the past, I really do believe that this is where I'm supposed to be, and I am enough. I would love to stay in contact with you. Some of you just need a safe place to talk, and I can't tell you how beautiful it's been. Although leaving the classroom was really hard for me, being at the university level, I've had so many friends who have called me and just said, I don't think I want to keep doing this. And I don't have any magic answers, but I am a safe place to land, and I don't judge. Instead, I want to encourage, and I want to listen, and I want to be a support for you. Yeah, I would love for you to get your master's degree with me and come join my pep class, but that's not why I'm here today. Ottawa University has given me the opportunity to partner with school districts and meet people like you. And I so appreciate the Edcamp folks asking me and believing in me. And I'm so glad you took your Saturday to be here. I hope that when you leave today, you feel whole and healed in a new way like you haven't been and whatever you needed to be. Thank you so much for your time.